by Mr. Suresh Venkatachari, the Chairman and CEO of the company, who joins us currently. Hi, Suresh. Thanks so much for joining in. The year has been great for your shareholders. They're rejoicing. Stock has been running up. But just want a quick word on your financials. You've been running at a good pace in the last couple of years. You've done more than 100% growth. Can you keep this up? And what's your guidance going ahead?
We do not give any financial guidance.
Okay.
But we hope to achieve the similar kind of results. That's what our growth plans. And we are putting necessary engines for the growth. In fact, we set up a strategic business units in the month of November to focus on enterprise market growth. And we have acquired about 2 Fortune 500 and 4 Fortune 1000 clients in the last 3 quarters. So we are seeing a major growth in the enterprise market. And also we focus on now started to identify market opportunities in the banking and finance because the cloud is becoming now even adapted by the banks and insurance industries. So we see another opportunity to build another vertical in the down the road in financial FY 16 and 17.
Okay, so you will be expanding from your focus on pharma and healthcare to banking and capital markets. Have you identified an acquisition? Would you be targeting this area via the inorganic route, or walk us through your plans and what are you trying to achieve?
In fact, we have acquired organically a couple of clients actually in the last quarter in a banking and insurance market actually. Those are Fortune 1000 companies. And we started to build our Cloud Easy platform for the BFSI market. Still, it's a little, I would say, another 6 to 12 months before we can able to gain definitely a big momentum in the BFSI market. Because earlier, the BFSI has a lot of restriction due to the hosting in the cloud and because of the data centers are outside the country. Now with the data centers are coming even in India, like a cloud data centers like Amazon, Azure, there is a great opportunity for a banking to adapt the cloud. So that's we see a great opportunity because as a AKMS as a company, we focus on security and compliance is one of our key pillars of our growth. And because it's the same applicable for both in the banking finance as the healthcare and life science. So we started identifying and growing slowly in as introducing a SaaS service for the banking sector, like our access governance as a service which does a compliance and validation of the user governance. And also we probably look at some acquisition opportunities in the banking BFSI in the down the road to enhance our growth significantly. As we focus on a BFSI, it's not that we are diluting our healthcare or life science. These are two verticals we are really gaining a very large momentum right now. All the acquisitions are started playing well, where we can able to leverage their domain expertise, their client relationship, and probably take into the next level of growth.
All right, Suresh, that point's well taken then. But can you tell us if you're planning on more inorganic growth, etc.? What's your current balance sheet looking like? Do you have cash? Would you raise more capital? Or how are you going to fund that?
Right now, there is not any immediately on the cards right now, the acquisitions on the cards. But however, we generate a substantial profit. And if acquisition requires a fundraise, we will look at that in a later point in time. But as for us now, we focus more on any acquisition through internal generation of receivables, actually, cash flow coming in. And we are growing on quarter pretty well and hope to continue the same in the next few quarters too.
Okay. Your trade receivables went up to about 56 crore in the September quarter. And I think it was close to about 28 crore in the March quarter. Can you tell us why?
No, our current receivables are actually less than 80-85 days currently. It is under 80-85 days actually. So it's a pretty normal for the standard for the industry, and we do not have any receivables which is more than 90 days actually right now.
All right. Just before that, I just want to pull up a 12-month chart of the stock. Just the same day last year, we were at a 52-week low, and today we're at a 52-week high. So it was a 550 rupee stock. Currently, it's a 2,000 rupee stock. I think our director should just pull that particular chart up. 52-week low as well as 52-week high, exactly 1 year apart. But Suresh, getting back to your business, then your promoter stake has fallen because you have been diluting some part of equity. Are you comfortable at around that 61-62% mark, or do you believe that in fact you'll push it back up to around that 66% approximately?
We continue, see, if you see the last dilution, actually, it includes the promoter also subscribed for the warrant along with the investors, actually. So as we continue to invest in the company, we believe definitely a big growth opportunity in 8K miles to grow. So to me is actually the dilution was happened to do the right inorganic acquisition, what we needed to expedite our growth. If you see our financial, the past history, we have done like in 15, we have done like, if you see 14, we have done about a 45 crores to 120 crores plus in a financial year 15 compared to 14. And 16, we are actually did in the first 2 quarters, probably about 111 crores or something. So if you see, we are pretty much ramping up our speed. So that's the main reason we diluted little percentage. As far as the promoter equity percentage may gone down, but number of shares actually has increased. So that's a very key difference actually. So we have not sold any single shares. We only acquired additional warrants to subscribe. So we believe continued growth in this 8K miles and hope to do some successful run again in the next few years.
So Suresh, I think the big change since the last time we spoke to you is the company's now focus on BFSI, banking and capital markets, financial services. You give us a rough sense, say in FY17, what could be the potential revenues that we'll expect from BFSI?
See,
and what that you'll enjoy?
If you really see, it's BFSI is still in a very, very early stage for us, actually. So I can't able to really give a big predictions. But by going in the trend like what we have done for other industries, basically, we focus on right now 3 verticals. One is actually our healthcare, life science, the second vertical, and third is a BFSI. And of course, we have other industries like some of the manufacturing clients. We have some retail clients, e-commerce clients. So we bucket under the other category. So our goal is basically to get our healthcare and life science to get about like a 65% of our revenue, probably 20% of revenue coming from a BFSI market, and then the rest of the industries. Because it's very important for us to focus non-vertical, our core vertical too, because we learn a lot of good experience in different industries, different problems. Because e-commerce companies' challenges are very different compared to their traditional model. So whatever we learn in e-commerce, build our capability, our scalability platforms, our analytics platform, where we can able to bring back to the traditional industries. So we focus on non-core industries also like a 20%. So our plan is basically to leverage whatever we learned in the healthcare and life science in terms of security and compliance, leverage that into the banking financial sector. To just give you a background, my background is I came from a bank. 20 years back, that was my last job in Deutsche Bank. And I created an internet banking product as my first company. And my CTO is again was my core architect from the days. And a lot of my senior management people has done a lot of experience in the banking and financials. Visa is our customer for many years actually. So like we learned and we have implemented a lot of security solution for the banks. So we want to leverage that and take it to the next level. The earlier, the BFSI was not very attractive for us because the cloud is not exactly fit for the banking due to the regulations like RBI.
Right.
Okay.
So now it has been changed.
Right.
So that's a great growth.
All right, Suresh, thanks so much for joining in. Your shareholders are watching out. Maybe, in fact, you can deliver a similar performance next year. They'll be very pleased. A very Merry Christmas in advance and have a great New Year as well.